It is February's FabOILous Workshop, and we are continuing with our 2022 A to Z. And this month, we are breaking into the C's. And I say breaking into because for those of you that may not be aware of the plethora of oils that doTERRA has, we actually have 18 oils that start with C, at least that I'm aware of. There may be other ones hiding somewhere. But so we are going to take C and we're going to break it up between a couple months. So this is the beginning of the C's in our A to Z journey for February. And so we have the lovely Miss Paula and Miss Brenda and Renee here with me to share with you some of our favorite C oils and hopefully expose you to a little bit of new information. So I was sitting there trying to think as to how does C go with February? Because we always think love and hearts and all that. And all I could come up with was C for coupling, but that was it. So that wasn't very much fun. So let's just dive right into the oils. And let's start with Miss Paula, who's going to share with us about Clary Calm.
Well, hello, everybody. All right. First of all, I have a love-love relationship with Clary Calm, right? I love it when my kid needs it, and I love it when I can find it when my kid needs it, because, wow, I have a teenage girl in my house. And until I was prepping for this call, I actually thought she was the only one in the house that needed it. Go figure, right? Because I don't have them girl parts anymore. They've been gone for 16 years. So it was, well, let's see, I've had this in my house since for 11 years, right? Did it come out that long ago? I've had it that long. And I never used it because I didn't have a uterus. Well, guess what? Dumb. Hello. Now I know I should be using it too. So for my teenager, I will tell you, everything that comes with that time of the month, rather it's nausea, cramps, crabby, more than crabby that starts with the B, you name it, any of those little symptoms that come in there, Clary Calm. And I'm kind of a hip to hip girl. So I tell that kid, I'm like, look, this is the best little roller bottle ever. I love it, little metal ball. And I tell her to put it on her abdomen from left to right and right to left and do it like 3 or 4 times. I know that's a little excessive, but so is she. So she rub it in there. Now, for me, now that I've been reading about it, I might be putting this on the back of my neck. And maybe even on my lower back, because get this, I'm going to read out of one of my favorite books, right? So Clary Calm, obviously hormone balancing, because that's what's going on during that week, right? Heavy periods, PMS, hot flashes. I am the hot flash queen. I usually wear a tank top every day with something over it, because this something over it is on and off all day long. So for hot flashes, they say your abdomen or the back of your neck. So that's why the back of my neck. But I'll be honest, I don't like the smell. I think it smells like pickles. That's just me. I have a post-COVID smell. So nobody else on this whole team call said pickles, just me. But for me, I don't want it that close to my smeller, because I don't like to smell pickles. I don't like sour stuff. So I put it way down my lower back. Mood swings. You can put it on the bottom of your feet, folks, right? We all know that's a good spot for it. How about skin issues, right? Like I got this great scratch over here, puppy stress. So you can use it on your skin, just a thought. Sometimes it's all you have in your bag. So let's say my kid was at school and she has this with her because it's that week, and she starts getting a stress pimple. Guess what? She can use it on that. Hot dog. That's fantastic, right? What about your sex drive? I don't have an issue in that area, but a lot of people do. So if you got some low libido, grab it. But I do want to say the number one main ingredient is clary sage, right? So I broke out my Little Emotions book on clary sage, and I found it interesting. So I will try and speed up a little bit. Clary sage assists individuals in changing their perceptions. This is the number one reason I'm using it now, guys. It gives courage to see the truth. One of the finest oils for the brow chakra, clary sage dispels darkness and illusion, helping individuals to see their limiting belief system. Clary sage encourages individuals to remain open to new ideas and new perspectives. It can assist during a healing crisis when a drastic change of perspective is required. clary sage opens the soul to new possibilities and experiences. So I'm going to tell you, this is actually the reason why I'm going to be using it. It's not even so much hot flashes. I'm kind of used to those. It's like I have my own tropical paradise going on over here. But just so you know, you can use this for so many things. I will give you a little hint on if you are pregnant or somebody in your household is pregnant. It helps to bring the relationship of mother and child stronger together. So people who are pregnant should actually use it a lot to bond better with their baby before the baby is born. And if you're having adult issues with mom, you might want to be putting it on your feet or even diffusing it, put it in your diffuser, right? To kind of help your bond. Like, you're making that phone call and then I'm talking to mom for an hour. Put that on first, kind of get it in your system a little bit. maybe something else, like, I don't know, a little forgive or something in there too. And then make that phone call because it will really help. Anyways, I hope you found this information good. I'm going to pass it on to the beautiful Renee. And I'll be honest, I don't know what Renee's covering, but she's going to tell you.
Great information, Paula. I'm going to say it works for night sweats too during the menopause, premenopause, all that kind of stuff. Put it on your big toes, bottom of your big toe every night. I swear on that stuff for my night sweats. Don't have them anymore. Just that's my tip. So today I'm going to talk about cypress. So, I've been on these calls a few times, and for some reason I gravitate to the ones that tend to help with muscles. And the reason why, just probably you guys don't know this, but I have an athlete. So I have been using oils for 6 years on an athlete who's my son, who is a quarterback, basketball pitcher, everything. So he had a lot of sore muscles. So we're really opening up opportunities to what oils to use. And I loved it because he'd come home and be like, Mom, I need oils, fix this. So we would go into the books, or I would go into the books, start researching, because I never wanted to use the same oil over and over. I kind of wanted to mix it up a little bit. So cypress is actually one of the oils that we used outside of, deep blue or wintergreen or anything like that. So cypress, as you know, is a tree. So it is one of the pine trees. So it's got that pine smell. And one of the things that the emotions book talk about, it's the motion and flow. So why that is good for your muscles is because your muscles are stagnant and they're kind of just not moving. So when you put the cypress on it, it just opens up and it starts flowing and getting the blood flowing. So one of the best things to actually use cypress for if you are exercising or even doing things around the house, and if you know that you're going to be lifting or whatever, you just put this on prior to it. So it's a pre-workout kind of thing. Put it on your muscles prior to it, and then it will open up and it will not be as sore to lift up. It will help you, move a little bit easier. So I love this. And I also love it for when I was doing massages on my son, like especially his calves or something like that. I would just put a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and just work it into his calves and just get that blood flowing. So that's one of my favorite things I do to help out others. But one of the things I love is I love putting this in my Epsom salt bath. So I add one, if I just need a little bit of support, I put 2 or 3 drops with lavender and cedar wood. So this is one of the oils I mix into it. So there's my little hints that how we use it. But now let's get into the nitty gritty of, I am actually going to talk about it off the doTERRA website. So I always love to go to the doTERRA website of how they break down their oils, of what the primary benefits are, the uses, all that kind of stuff. So the primary benefits is topical application helps to invigorate the senses. It also helps improve the appearance of oily skin. So it's really good to put in your moisturizer to use for your complexion. And it's also commonly diffused with citrus oils for an uplifting aroma. Again, you can diffuse this. So such a great versatile oil, like we have so many other ones. And this one is native to the Southern Europe and Western Asia. So that's why I love our oils so much, is they covered from all over the world. So it's always fun for me to learn to where oils are from. So here's a few uses. Apply to feet and legs prior to a long run. Or like I said, if you're doing some major housework, or, just apply it beforehand, even on your feet or your muscles or wherever you feel like you're going to be extenuating that. You can diffuse cypress with lemon essential oil for invigorating scent. Mix together cypress and grapefruit with a carrier oil for a great massage. Add 1 or 2 drops to a toner to help improve the appearance of oily skin. So there you go, guys. And I just wanted to talk about one more thing, is the negative emotions are controlling, fearful, rigid, and stuck. So which means that, it's stagnant, you're stuck. The positive is flexible, trusting, flowing with life, and adaptable. So use cypress to get that stagnant emotion that you are feeling right now, and just open it up. Open up your senses, open up your mind, and get that flowing of blood, mind, senses, everything. So cypress is a great one to grab. There you go. So that's my little recap of cypress, and Brenda is next.
Hi there. So I want to give a little bit more on cypress. For those of you who have wanted to get into the oils of the Bible, this is one of them that's huge. And I would, as Renee said, for the circulation, in that realm, it's considered the blood oil, because it does help with the circulation. So if you're interested in that at all, I would dig deeper into it. And it's, like I said, cypress, besides obviously frankincense and myrrh, and our whole ancient oils kit, cypress is a huge one that's mentioned numerous times in the Bible. All right, so on to mine, I am doing celery seed. Now, it's not a common one. A lot of people don't have it. It is our detoxifying oil. And in detoxifying, it's not only for the soul and the emotions, but it's for the body. And I don't know if many of you have read or been around the medical medium and the celery juice that everybody talks about. Our oil has that exact same constituent in it. So it's like having a whole celery bunch right here in your bottle, instead of having to make all of these juices all of the time. So you can definitely get in there to learn about heavy metal detox and all of those things, which I could go on and on and on about, but we will start with the emotions of it, because it's huge. It is absolutely huge. And you all will recognize the smell of this. It's very crisp to me. It reminds me of my grandma's German dishes, because we would put celery seed, the actual seed, into, and I still do, into my coleslaw and into potato salads and those kind of things, and use them for marinating. But what I didn't know was that, obviously, like I said, it's detoxifying and cleansing. Never before has the entire earth been more drenched in toxic substances in the air, water, and soil, which, if you've been watching any of this with me, I'm also a geologist and have worked in the environmental field. So when I hear those, all of the things that I know about the toxicities that are in the air, the water, and the soil really come forward for me. Media consumption, which, we've all been just completely overwhelmed with lately. Our human bodies are struggling to cope with all of that, right? And the onslaught of all of that information and toxic pathways. So this is the perfect one for everybody to really, if you don't have it, I would recommend getting it right now. It invites individuals to straighten their course and to return to practices that will lead to better outcomes. It teaches that cleansing the inner vessel requires ongoing commitment and perseverance, oftentimes rejecting what comes easily in favor of what is necessary. It promotes greater alignment within an individual's heart and body and the discovery of personal solutions that are sustainable. Celery aids individuals in releasing anything that is not supporting their wellness and well-being. So again, body and mind in this one. Companion oils, with this, I don't usually diffuse this one. I just smell it right out of the bottle, because not everybody in the household is going to be able to tolerate that. And it's kind of, it's a little bit more of a, I like it, but it's got a little bite to it. I put it in a capsule, or I'll put it on the bottom of my feet. If I'm feeling like I've got a lot of toxins in my system, I will put it like over towards my liver or on my neck. If I'm feeling like I've got stuff right in here that's sticking that is toxic, whether it's from emotional or environmental issues. So, I can go, like I said, I could go on and on and on about this one because I love it. It just helps the overall body. And I think during February, we could really use some of that and get rid of some of the extra crap that's in our lives and what we hear. And as I call, that little voice that's right here, you got the good, you got the bad, helps get rid of that one. Just kicking on out of there. As Amy's saying, as she's laughing, I call that one Sheila. Just shut up, Sheila. So, that's where that's at. But anyway, so that's my craziness for today. Amy, on to you.
Oh my gosh. I have loved every one of these oils that these ladies have talked about so much, because I was sitting there, I'm like, it's so hard for me to not share my own experiences, because the more that you play with the oils and use them in your own life, the more you start to have like your own stories and stuff. And Clary Calm, I found it ended up allowing me to not care so much when my period was coming and not dread it, and kind of be able to feel like I could get through it. So it did help with that PMS side. And Cypress, I used the heck out of that when I had little ones in diapers, because it helped with bedwetting or incontinence even. Like, it helps across the abdomen with that, with the bladder expansion. And celery seed, the whole time, that one is not my favorite. It's super stanky. But while you were talking, Brenda, and you were talking about how your family cooks with it, I immediately thought, oh my gosh, what a great housewarming gift to take some pink Himalayan salt and put a couple drops of celery seed oil in it, and it becomes a flavored celery salt. You can make your own celery salt that is natural, doesn't have any nastiness in it. So I was like, okay, note to Amy, go make some celery salt after this FabOILous workshop. So I just love our little chats, and we hope that you guys all love them too, because we sure love doing them. So on to what I'm here to talk to you guys about. I am going to cover coriander. So coriander is actually in the same family as cilantro. So one is the seed and one is the leaf, right? And so, but yet, even though they're in the same family, they have a little bit of different properties. And that's one of the things that I love. Like, we're getting all benefits of the plant, but helping our body in different ways. So coriander, on the scheme of things, is probably not, I would like, by a raise of hands on the lady on the workshop right here, how many of you guys reach for coriander when you have physical ailments? It's not, you do, Brenda? It's not one that we normally reach for when we have physical ailments, because it's not a common one that comes to mind. But when you understand that it helps with cartilage injuries, so again, for the athlete mama down there, you could be pulling this one. It helps for degenerative disease, muscle aches, muscle development. Little story, I actually gave a sample of coriander to a gentleman who was trying to buff up, right? Before he went off to college, and he was working out a lot, and he would apply the coriander to the area of the muscles that he was working that day. And he came back to me at the end. He's like, that stuff is amazing. Look at this tone, because the muscle development happens so much faster in that way. So it just speeds it up a little bit. It also helps for muscle tone in general, but whiplash. So let's go back to the muscle development, muscle tone. You could be adding this to a fractionated coconut oil that you apply before or after your workouts to help really make your workout matter, right? Coriander, not one you would normally go to. So let's just look again. I am looking at my Modern Essentials handbook because I just like it's super handy dandy, hence the term handbook. And it lists in here other possible uses. And what I like about this is there's actually historical uses. So the Chinese have used coriander for dysentery, measles, nausea, toothaches, and painful hernias. So that's another thing. Now we could look either other possible uses, colic. Wouldn't have thought of that one for Mr. Coriander. Arthritis, anorexia. It can help with that. Migraines, nervous exhaustion, poor circulation. So you could pair coriander in with cypress to really help that circulation and that motion and flow. And it can be helpful during convalescence and after difficult childbirth to really help control and regulate pain that may be tied to menstruation. So we are tying all of these suckers in because this even ties back to Mr. Clary Calm, or Mrs. Clary Calm's probably a better way to say it. And for those of you guys that know me, you know I'm always on top of the emotional side, and coriander over this last year has really become one of my favorites. I am probably at least once a week using coriander, and let me tell you why. One of the catchphrases recently that I've heard some friends actually say, I'm so sick of people talking about being your authentic self, right? Be your true self. Like it's such a cliche phrase right now, but it's really what we're striving towards when we're trying to find ourselves, kind of get back to who we really are, right? Coriander is the oil of integrity. So it helps if you are feeling a little bit controlled by others, like you don't feel like you have a voice. Maybe you're doing a little bit of self-betrayal and maybe conforming to other crowds. I like that it says, coriander teaches that each individual is a gift to the world with something unique that no one else has to offer. And we tend to forget that. I was having a conversation with a lady in a store that I was visiting. We were talking about the idea of how people go, oh, I'm probably weird. Weird is actually the normal, because the normal is that we're supposed to be different from everybody else. And so if you're weird, you're actually normal, if you didn't know that. And coriander can help you see that in case you didn't realize it. How do you use this one when you're using it for emotionals? They suggest placing it 1 to 3 drops over your upper stomach. So it's just below like your sternum. You call that your solar plexus area, or on the bottom of your feet. In the beginning, I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy the smell, so I put it on the bottom of my feet a lot. But now it actually is really calming and really soothing and really centering, and I quite enjoy it. In fact, I slapped some on before this just so that I could be the real me for you guys during this February FabOILous Workshop. So I hope you liked our break into the C's, and please join us in March for our continuation of the C's. Now we're not going to do all 18, but we are going to tap on a couple more of the C oils in our A to Z journey. But we have some of our favorites that we're thinking about doing in March, but we want to hear from you guys. So after you watch this, open your book, get on the website, whatever it is, look at your collection and tell us, what C oil would you like to learn more about? Because we know kind of some of the common ones, and we're trying to introduce you to some of the new ones that maybe you didn't realize was out there. So comment below with a C oil that you would like to see in March. And we really look forward to joining you guys with our continuation of our A to Z journey. So thanks for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you later, guys.